Have you ever wondered what that little A icon is in the lower right corner of your viewport, or what Autodesk Assistant does? Well, let me explain in this video. So have you ever been in Fusion and wondered what this little icon is down here in the lower right corner? Well, this is the Autodesk Assistant. And as I hover over it, you'll notice it says Find Answers or Connect with a Support Agent. Now, I will say that this only exists if you have a subscription version of Fusion. This does not exist in the free version. So this is one of the perks of having a subscription version of Fusion. So what's it used for? Well, let's say I'm working on my sketch here and I go to add a dimension onto this circle and I get this warning, overconstrained sketch. This dimension would overconstrain the sketch, create a driven dimension instead. And I don't know what that means. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out. And then I get this error message, failed to solve. Please try revising dimensions or constraints. And I just don't understand what that means. So I click on more info. And this doesn't really give me a lot of information. So here's my first little tip. Down here in this error message, there's this little copy icon. So I'm going to click on that copy and then close out this error message. If I click on this little A right here, it brings up this Autodesk Assistant. And you'll notice it says, I'm here to help you with Fusion. I use AI to answer your questions. Please describe your question in detail using complete sentences. And they even have some examples in here. So how can I edit a sketch in Fusion? How do I create a tool preset? When I open a file, I get this particular error. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, I got this error message. And then I'm going to just hit paste. And it pasted in that failed to solve, please try revising dimensions or constraints. And then I'll just hit enter and it's going to send that message. And what the Autodesk Assistant is going to do is go out and search support articles and look for resolutions and return those. So you can see it came back with a bunch of different solutions here. So in fact, it looks like it came from two different documents here. So locate the problematic area, delete various areas of the sketch until the warning disappears, check for unconstrained areas, adjust dimensions or constraints, avoid overconstraining, and then handle projected profiles. Potentially consider breaking the link. From document 2, it says, potentially unfixed geometry, delete coincident constraints if necessary, maybe copy and paste the sketch, delete overconstrained dimensions, or potentially adjust parameters. So it's giving you some tips and tricks, some ideas on what you could do on why you were getting that error message. You'll notice that if you liked the answers, you can give a thumbs up. If you didn't like the answers, you can give a thumbs down. But then you'll also notice the sources right here. And if I expand that open, it actually links you to the support articles. So here's, failed to solve, please try revising dimensions or constraints. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to bring up the actual document. And so you can kind of see the Autodesk document on, here's a screen capture, what causes it, how to resolve, check the following, stuff like that. So if you're wanting to look for the actual help document, you could click on any of these. Now, let's say that none of these answers answered your question. Now, in this case, I would say that they did, but let's just say that they didn't. You'll notice there's an option here that says connect with an agent. So I'll go ahead and click on connect with an agent. And what this is going to do is give you the option to either chat live with an agent or create an email support ticket. So here you can see, I have the standard plan. I have the option of doing a live chat or creating a case. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do a live chat right now because I don't want to bother the technical specialist, but if I were to click on this, it would allow me to have a direct live chat with a technical specialist, and I could say, here's the issue that I'm having. I'm not able to, save my drawing or, copy my drawing or something like that, for example, and they would work with me to help answer that. If I wasn't in, quite such a hurry, I might just say create a case, and that would allow me to send an email and they would respond back via email. Another way to get to this is if you go up to the help menu, you'll notice this Autodesk Assistant right here, and it brings up the exact same thing. So you can either click on the A down in the viewport or pick on Autodesk Assistant from the help menu. So I wanted to point this out because this is a very useful tool, especially being able to type in the question that you want to look for, using keywords and sentences like, how do I create a variable fillet? It'll bring up lots of support articles and documentation on how to do that instead of trying to figure it out on your own. And like I said, if you get stuck, you can contact a support agent or a technical specialist, and they are usually very helpful and knowledgeable and can get you moving forward. Once again, this is only in the subscription version of Fusion, so that might be one of those reasons that you move from the free version to the subscription version. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you've hit like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified of upcoming videos. If you'd like to learn more about Fusion, make sure you visit my webpage at cadedllc.com. And as always, have fun learning Fusion.